So what's up, everybody? My name is Greg Byerly, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of making music videos, or potentially even movies if you wanted to, for virtually free. But the problem is, there's a bunch of apps out there that will try and say, hey, we'll make you this music video for free. And then you get the app, you download it to either your smartphone or to your laptop or your desktop or whatever. And then you start fumbling around with them. And then what happens is there's a paywall. All of a sudden, it's not actually free. There's a credit system. We gave you 100 credits for free, and it's going to take you about 1,000 credits to produce a 30-second video, and so on, etc. It's a mess. But technology is moving so fast that we're able to adapt if you're willing to do a little research and stuff, which is what I've done. So, having said all that, that research has led me down a rabbit hole, and I had some friends in Oregon that were basically saying, hey, I'd love to be able to produce full videos. You're not around. You can't shoot my video for me. You can't do this. Can you explain how you make videos? And I was like, well, I can't really explain it over the phone or through text. It just doesn't make any sense. So I started experimenting, and I made 4 full-length music videos for me and a couple other bands. And when I first started messing around with AI stuff, I was very curious, and I would start doing things, and then it's like, oh well, for $5, you get X amount of credits, and then you plink around, and the next thing you know, you're out of that $5, and you still have no product left. There's nothing there, and so I always hit that paywall, and that's where I stop. I'm like, I know how this goes, because I told my buddies in Oregon, I'm like, I don't know. I think it's a huge scam. It's one of those things that you're going to spend a lot of money or a lot of time or both. The results are going to be hit and miss. A lot of these are little templates and stuff that you go off of, and that's just not, you don't want your video to look exactly like everybody else's video. Then it's not really that spectacular, right? So thinking about all this, I'm like, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. I've made this stuff completely with AI, 100%. Well, I subscribe to Grok and I subscribe to ChatGPT. I originally would only be subscribed to one or the other at any given moment, but I use them for different things. And I use ChatGPT as kind of a virtual assistant to produce a lot of different things for me, whether it be business proposals or this or that or another. And then I utilize Grok for real creative stuff and less censorship. In this research, I ended up subscribing to both at the same time. So I'm spending, drum roll please, spending about $50 a month. And you don't have to do that. You could do this completely for free. It would be a harder process as far as time wise. You couldn't just like crank through the stuff. For me, everything else that I do in AI, it's worth that money. Because I do a lot of design work and other stuff on the side, it actually saves me money to subscribe instead of jump through a whole bunch of hoops and all this. I used to subscribe to Adobe products, and they got to be ungodly expensive. I don't need those as much. I could utilize ChatGPT to do some heavy lifting for me, and I could use Grok to do a lot of the video stuff. So let's get into this. First and foremost, I'm going to jump over to my computer here, and you'll see my screens here. I've got ChatGPT on one, and I've got Grok on the other. It's one screen, but 2 windows, right? And basically, what I utilize is I type everything into ChatGPT of what I'm going for, what the vibe of the music is, so on and so forth, and or if you were doing a movie, what the vibe of the movie would be. And then what we're going to do is you put that into ChatGPT and explain to them what you're looking for. Plug in maybe the lyrics to the song, or if you want, you could even upload a sample of the song. Then it'll analyze that, and then it'll start writing ideas for you. And you have that be your musical director. You're like, okay, I want. And so in the video that I have today that I'm going to show you, I took my likeness, and then I created a character sheet in ChatGPT. Once I have that character sheet, then that sheet shows every angle of me, what outfit I want to wear, hairstyles or hat. Like today would be a hat day, right? Actually, the last video I made, I'm wearing a hat and a flannel t-shirt, which was based off of a photograph that I fed it. And I'll show you that stuff right here. So that photograph was pretty important for me to utilize because I did a modeling gig for a clothing company just about a month ago. So it's very current. And then I take that current picture of me and I make a AI agent for it, or I make a character for it. Sounds a lot more complicated than it is. I'm going to show you this. So here is the character sheet that I did. We'll put that up right here. There we go. So here's my character sheet, and it's, you know, as basic as I want to make it. It could be as crazy as you want to make it. This one, I basically had ChatGPT create a template of me, and then I upload different pictures for inspiration. So this one, what I did is I've got a front view, like a 3/4 view, a side view, and a back view, and then I've got some tattoo details which aren't very important. It actually will mess up on that stuff pretty commonly, so I don't really care about that too much. It made a color palette which tries to keep everything consistent that way. That's cool. It wrote my name and all the basic information about me. And then accessories, my watch, which is Alpha Gear watch. They used to sponsor me. And then like some tactical 511 boots. But I'm wearing jeans and that flannel shirt that I modeled for Demons Behind Me. So I took that, and once I created this, then tell ChatGPT to build a template with you in it. But so anyway, or whoever, you could build a full group of people. You don't have to just do you. You could do, hey, this is a band. This is a four-piece band. I have a woman bass player. I have a bald guitarist. I have a long-haired drummer, spiky-haired lead guitarist, so on, etc., which was another band that I did. But anyway, you create this character sheet, and once you have that created, it gets a little easier. So I'm going to just scroll up here. To making my music videos, the script up here that kind of lays it all out. Once you have that in there, and we'll go ahead and bring it up over here, you will take and you will say, hey, this is my actor, and I want this person or this character to do this, this, and this. And you can start breaking it down. Once you have a song lyrics, you put that in. ChatGPT is going to go, oh, here's my suggestion. Let's have an opening scene doing X, Y, Z. And then you just can talk back and forth until you get the script that fits you. And then what it's going to do is it's going to create copy and paste scenes that you will take, and like what I have over here, you will take these and you'll copy them from ChatGPT over to Super Grok in its Imagine Studio. So I'm going to pull that up, and I'm going to actually go to my saved stuff here, and we're going to pull this up. So I have a saved session, and you can see where it's playing right here. It created me doing what I asked it to do. And in this, it was just a scene where I'm just standing in a dark void. As you build, you'll have new scenes that do different things. Now, this was a mess up. It made me left-handed instead of right-handed. So I'm actually going to take and I'm going to delete that video. And that's the stuff you're going to have to do. You're going to have to go through things and decide if it's a keeper or not. And, there is literally going to be as many videos as you want to create here following your script. Now, what I have on screen here is just the character sheet. And then what I would do is I'll click on this next one, and I have my description. You'll see I wrote middle-aged man, strong build, short gray beard, masculine, rugged face, wearing black sunglasses, confident, calm expression, green plaid flannel shirt, ripped blue jeans, rugged boots, subtle silver chain, consistent face and body proportions, cinematic realism, ultra realistic, 50mm lens, shallow depth of field, slow push in, real basic. And there's actually more to that when I start building. So you'd paste that in every time, and then you paste in the script of what you want for 10 seconds. Now you may be thinking to yourself, 10 seconds, that ain't nothing. That's nothing. I mean, videos are 4 minutes long. Well, yes, they are, but you could take and build off of that 10 seconds. And that's just where video is at with AI right now. to get it very consistent, you have to do small little increments, but you could build on those. So like here I have this guy, and what I could do is I could either download that video if I was happy with it, or I could click on these three dots and I could hit either reimagine if I didn't like it, or I can hit extend. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and it's going to extend from 10 seconds out to another 20 from 10 to 20 seconds. And we're going to say stands up and walks away, right? We're going to hit return on that. It's going to do its thing and generate. Now, this is not going to be in the video that I already produced, but it is pieces from that video, so you can see my thought pattern, how I did this. So it just goes, it's going to take a minute or two depending on your internet speed, your computer that you're using, you know, how bogged down their system is, so on, etc. But it's going to work flawlessly. You don't need a powerhouse computer. You just need a computer and an internet connection. So it's doing its thing. It's already at like 30%. Stay hydrated here. And while it's doing that thing, you know, we're going to look, and you just have your script here. So I'm going to go to my cover concept here while it's doing its thing in ChatGPT, and I'm going to go to my script so you can see what I'm doing here with the script. Before I get that far, I also use ChatGPT to take my likeness with the video you clicked on, the thumbnail you did there. I use ChatGPT to do that. Same process. What I do is I say, what do I want in there? I want an epic cinematic movie style thumbnail with these words put in there, and you know, this photo or a rendition of this photo. So you can see here, this is what we got here. I had to add my logo, GB logo, and my name, which that ended up being like this, which was wrong. And the thing that sucked about this is I liked the vibe of it. This would be, it thought I was trying to make a record album. I said, no, I need it a different way. And so I scroll down, and there we go. So I'm going to open this up. Well, you can see it there. So that is the thumbnail for the music video. And I uploaded that last night so I can make this video and show my buddies in Oregon. So, but I wanted to share this with all you guys because I think this system that I've created will work really, really well. So now jumping back over to this video concept over here, it has now gotten from the 10 seconds where I was just sitting here, it's just chilling, and then he gets up right here. So I get up, pretty smooth. There's a little glitch there, but it could just be my internet connection too. And if you don't like it, just reimagine it, or you just hit it again and it'll do it again. So I did that. It's going to reimagine that really quick. And let's go back over here while it's doing its thing. All this stuff. I tend to, this is some stuff to think about here. I tend to do a whole bunch in one thing and get sidetracked on projects. That's just my ADHD. It is what it is. You could be very organized with this. And I am pretty organized, but all right, here we go. So right up here, put a scene 1. And this is how, we'll play the music video, but this is how it came about. Ultra realistic cinematic video, 50mm lens, shallow depth of field, slow push in, camera movement, a man sitting on worn concrete steps, elbows resting on his knees, looking off into the distance, calm and reflective, dust particles floating in the air, soft moody lighting, subtle wind movement in clothing, background minimal, and slightly out of focus, cinematic color grading, film grade. And then I put in the middle-aged man, strong build, right? So I didn't have to write all that. I just had to give the concept. So I gave this to ChatGPT. It took that and it created stuff. It asked me a few questions along the way. I said, yes, let's do this. Let's build this in the scenes. The scenes have to be 10 seconds long, no longer. So be aware of that. It understood completely. It's like, yeah, otherwise AI will do what's called drifting. It'll start changing facial features and stuff like that. And that's what you don't want. You want to keep consistent. So it did that. And then we go to scene 2. And before we get to that, let's go ahead back over to the scene that we just extended. So we're going right about here's the 10 seconds. You should be getting up right about here. Yep, there he goes. Nice and slow, just like I would move. Yep, yep, walking up those stairs and walking away. And that is a good finished product. I wish I would have did that earlier, but it's okay. You know, you could remake your videos and do whatever. So that's doing that. It's adding sound and stuff like that. And honestly, I'm going to mute that because that sound is not my music video, right? Ultra realistic shot, ultra realistic cinematic video, 85 millimeter lens, tight side profile shot, shallow depth of field, slow lateral camera slide, dramatic lighting, shaping the face, dust and haze in the air. So you get where I'm going with this, right? But I didn't do all that stuff. I just gave it the idea. Now here's what you have to do to make it look more real is you have to tell ChatGPT that you need camera movements, camera focal lengths, you want ultra realistic or photorealistic, you want to mention tone and stuff like that. Maybe you want it to be all black and white, for instance. Whatever. We always put middle-aged man, strong build, and that's to keep the character very consistent, to keep it looking like me, right? Or you, or a person that you made up. Whoever it is, you want it to be consistent. Once we start going through those scenes, you're going to say, okay, well, I have a whole bunch of 10-second clips. Maybe I have too many. Maybe I have this. Maybe I want to extend these scenes, and that's perfectly fine. Like what you just saw, I extended a scene to 20 seconds. Maybe I need to extend that to 30 seconds. Cool. Just do another extend off of that, which I'll do right here. So we're going to go click on this. We are going to go to extend, and it goes to the very last clip, and then I'm going to say walks into an urban alley with spray painted images. Walks into an urban alley with spray painted images. So we're going to do that. We're going to hit go. And it should now take and have him walk into an alley that's similar to stuff in the thing. And, you know, it may take some experimentation. You could literally take and produce a video in a day. Now, the cool thing about this is when I was producing other videos for people, or even just regular videos for this channel, I'd have to go on location. I'd have to scout people to be in my videos. I'd have to think of everything to do in the video. I'd have to think of different angles. I'd have to bring a whole bunch of gear with me. So, you know, the list goes on. And then I'd have to go back and edit all this stuff. Now, the beauty behind this system is I don't need any of that. I could literally do it in my underwear, which I did for this video. And I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to do anything. I can do it in the middle of the night. I work full time, so it's very difficult for me to find time to go out and scout locations and do all these other things. I can scout the location right in my mind. You can too. So going back to this, what I'm going to show you is, you know, I have all these things built out, scene by scene, urban walk, tattoo shop I go into, the rock world, like me playing as a rock musician, and then so on and so forth. And then the void shot, that's the shot where everything was black and everything. It's just kind of me contemplating where I'm at in this world. But yeah, let's go ahead and see. Now this is just generating out. We're at 99%. We should be getting pretty close here. Sometimes I'll hang up at the last minute. I don't know why. I'm sure it's just an internet thing. But these videos that you're producing may not seem like that high a quality. They're 720p, but for me, they are high quality because back in the day, like VHS videos were only a couple hundred DPI. DVD, I think, was like 640 or something like that. So this is better than DVD quality. So here we go. I get up, I stand up, I start walking away, and we keep going. Then I walk towards an alleyway. Oh, there it is. Look at that. That alley. This would have been perfect for me to split into my video. Had I thought of that in the middle of the night like I did. That video clip right there is much better than what I thought. Now I discovered the extending thing after I'd already done this. I was doing like 10-second clips, and didn't have to piece them together. Now I could have Grok literally build off of a 10-second clip. And I would stop around 30 seconds because usually in movies and videos, everything, things change. The whole vibe changes every few clips anyway. So you might as well just go to a whole nother scene. But uh, in short, you could make this actually build out. So you take all this stuff and then you're going to take all these and download them to your computer. So what I'm going to do is I'll go do that. I'll hit download, my downloads folder here. Once you have this, and you've downloaded it, you go to your downloads folder, you open that up. You'll see it's right here. You could take this and you could literally edit this from here. So you split the clip, you could trim. This is what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it. So you'll see so I'm going to point right here and you'll see the screen. Right at the bottom, it starts out with my character sheet. I don't want that, so I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm just going to trim it. I'm going to get rid of it right from the get-go. And then I can take this clip and put it into whatever video editor you want. So we go into, I use Final Cut Pro. If you're on a Mac, you have a free app called iMovie. It would work just fine for this. I like the updated Final Cut Pro. You could use Adobe Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, or free stuff like CapCut and so on, etc. It really doesn't matter. You don't need to spend any money. There's enough stuff out there. Grok and ChatGPT doing all the heavy lifting for you. All you have to do is take that and then apply whatever you want. And you'll see like here, I'm just going to click off this. This is a better, higher resolution thing than my final thing because I wanted mine to look kind of gritty and old, so I applied some effects to it. You could do all that later. It's really whatever your mind can imagine, it'll do that for you, right? So I think it did a good job on this. I wish I would have used this video to produce the video I made, but I didn't think about it. So there it goes into an alleyway. I have scenes with the alleyway. I have scenes going from an alleyway into a tattoo parlor and so on, etc. Each scene is whatever you want it to be. And as long as you use these characters, it's going to be very, very consistent. And ChatGPT, let me go ahead and close this down. It's going to break everything down into these scenes. And once you have these scenes, you can see I have a whole bunch of them here. I'm just going to scroll on down. There's 11 scenes. On those 11 scenes, then I did extra scenes off of those. So I sometimes render the video 2 different ways. But it'll even say when generating, do 2 to 3 variations per scene. That's what I just told you to do, right? Or what I did. Pick the best one. I actually pick the best one, and then I will use other ones for like zoom ins and stuff like that. And you could slightly overlap in motion, walking, turning, breathing, etc. And then it gives you, ChatGPT is smart. It'll give you other things like so. Says I could build transition prompts between scenes. This will make it feel like a real movie instead of just clips. I'm like, yeah, build these transitions. Or he says, just build these transitions. I say, no, we're not adding this and this because they had some other stuff. And then I went and they redid all these things again. They set the tone, the person, so on, etc. I'm going to scroll on down to 11, and then it tries talking to you all funny. Real talk. This is make or break and blah blah blah. That's all just AI trying to be your buddy. But it says you should have the same outfit, same silhouette, same identity. This is what makes the artist real. I agree. If you want to take this over the top, I could build transition prompts between each scene or a killer 2-second intro hook for YouTube. Just say build, and I was like, okay, this is good, but a few scenes I think need a couple more scenes. Basically, I'm like, I need a little bit more. You didn't give me enough. And it just goes from there. Updated, added on scenes. Then, it gives you more detail, bigger prompts. Scene 13, some guitar scenes, 14, 15, 16. and then it gives advice on where to place these into the video, fixes when there's AI glitches. For example, one of the things it was doing is it was making me left-handed instead of right-handed. So if I grab a guitar. This is me playing normal, but it was having me play like this, and that's not how I play. So anybody that knows me knows that that's wrong. It needed to be like this. And by the way, this is Zach Wild tribute guitar made by a company called Firefly. It is definitely probably not something Zach Wild wants them to have out, but I could afford that one. I couldn't afford the real one. So once you get all this stuff built out, the key is just using your imagination. Look at movies, you don't have to be an expert and say, oh, I don't understand camera lenses. I don't understand lighting. I don't understand camera movement. You don't have to. You just have to explain to ChatGPT that you need these cinematic camera movements, focal lengths, remember that, lighting, so on, etc. Camera movement, camera focal lengths are going to be probably the most important things, and everything else will fall into place. It's going to try and be consistent with everything. Once you have that built up, then you put it into your video editor. I'm using Final Cut Pro. You start assembling that. You have your transitions you put in. You take your song from wherever you made it. So let's say you make AI music and you use Suno, which is a great app. You take the final product from Suno, and then you would drag that MP3 or waveform over to your video editor, and then you would build off of that. So I would drag the music over from my hard drive into Final Cut Pro. That's what I use. And then I start taking these video clips and start putting them in there and lining them up with the music. Once you get this method down and you make your first video, start challenging yourself and go from there. Like, you could start trying to get it to lip sync, and it is very possible to do that. You could start getting it to look like it's playing the real instruments the right way. You could start implementing other characters in. Start with one, start and make sure you can be consistent that way. But then you can start building a whole cast, a whole scenes, a whole vibe, and it's all yours. It's not some template. You're creating the template without have to reinvent the wheel. ChatGPT will reinvent the wheel for you, all right? Grok will do the video for you. ChatGPT can't do the video. It just isn't there. It does great graphics. It'll give you the scenes. It'll allow you to build from wherever you need to go, and you will take and start with these baby steps and build up. I have did one concept with myself, and then I did one where I turned myself into a whole anime style. So I took my likeness and I said, hey, I want this to be kind of like a high-end Japanese animation. I made a whole video. That was my first video that I was going to record for this. I was like, yeah, this would be cool. Then you don't have to be perfect. But the more I thought about it, the more, and the feedback I got from some of my friends was like, that's really cool, but I want it to be me, right? And so I was like, all right, that's cool. This is what I do. I'd create an avatar of myself, and I would just say I want it to be photorealistic, very cinematic. So, I'd use these keywords, and I'd create that character sheet. Once I created that character sheet, I made 3 more videos based off of this whole thing. Now, this is being the 4th one, although everything's already set aside for me, right? You could take that same character sheet, and once you get it from here to your computer, then the sky's the limit. Now, by doing this method, you're going to save money. You're going to save time because now you have your character sheets made. Now you just have to create a concept, which you'd have to do in real life or not. Have ChatGPT do all the heavy lifting there, create that character sheet, and then start taking those prompts over to Grok. And I'm going to show you how I do this. So here we go. I'm going to show you how I do this from the start, from the get-go, right? So I'm going to go to my saved things here, and I'm going to do it with today's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. I created this style sheet here based off of the same character. I made it more cartoony and everything else. And then I'm just going to write, make this Sith Lord angry and fighting Jedi Knights. We'll see if I get a copyright strike for this. All right, so I'm going to hit that just to show you it doesn't have to be a music video. It could be whatever you want. I did this for a post on Instagram earlier today, so I already had it prepared. But here we go. It's already making like scenes for that video. It clicked up really quick. Again, this doesn't have to be a music video. It could be a full-on movie. As long as you can make those consistent characters, that's the key. So the consistency. If I could do it, anybody could do it, because I always did it the hard way. I'd go out and shoot the video, shoot the photos, and go on from there. Oh, and there's upscale features too. I forgot to mention this. You don't have to stick with 720p. You could, actually, I'll go ahead and do this. I'll upscale it. And it's going to take that and it's going to get it up to like 4K and stuff like that. So to close this out, I mean, I really, really want to specify that you don't have to be a computer expert at all. In fact, my friends that want to learn how to do this, by their own words, they'll say, they don't have the time for it, this and that. This, you definitely have more time to do this than to dilly-dally around and think you're going to have somebody shoot an actual video and then edit it. And, oh, I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to learn how to do that. Those things are not real. You can't, you might as well do everything in AI at this point. No offense to my friends. It's just literally, if I could do it, if I could create the method to do it, they could do the method. I wouldn't expect anybody to understand how to create the whole method, but I'm going to play the whole music video that I created to end this out. And if you have any questions, definitely shoot me a message. I would love to create a dialogue and show other ways to make something from nothing, because that's really what it is. Something from nothing. If you could think it, you can do it. That's what I've been trying to teach people from the beginning of time, is if you could think it, you could do it. Literally, I created this whole 4-minute song. I did a whole video. It took me a couple of hours. It's not bad. A couple hours to make a whole motion video where I never had to leave and go on set. I didn't have to hire actors. That's coming from a guy that loves doing photography and loves doing video. I understand the challenges, and the challenge can get way worse. Like, I have friends in Oregon that are touring musicians and they want music videos. They want me to produce music videos for them. And we could never even sync up time-wise. Now they can do it themselves. If they follow this video, they could do it themselves and I'd be out of a job. That's it. I'm going to leave it like this. Enjoy the video. If you like my music, you could tune into my other music channel. It's just Greg Byerly Music. And you can see I do lots of different styles, a lot of AI-assisted stuff. And I'm going to be teaching how to make that stuff from the get-go too. I do play music though. I'm not 100% AI. I do believe in using instruments. I believe in being able to sing. And most importantly, I believe in writing out your lyrics. I think that AI is good for filler, but it's never going to have that emotion that you bring to the table by your real life experiences. So take those real life experiences, write your music. If you need help, maybe you can't sing, maybe you can't play an instrument, but you can imagine what you want. You could use that AI to leverage you and get there. And then when it carries over to video, you follow these techniques I just showed you, you're going to be a superstar. All right, take it easy. Hope you have a good one.
Every line and every shade, a chapter deep within. The pain cut my soul while the ink marked my skin. Some are scars and some are prayers, some I can't forget. Every mark's a memory, I ain't finished yet. Not just art, it's the life I've been. Every mark of memory written in skin. Written in skin, the truth won't fade. Every joy, every loss, every choice I made. Written in skin, the pain, the sin. Every scar I carry's just the place I've been. Needle hum steady, burning through the night. Every line a reminder of a wrong or right. Stories on the surface, but they're carved below. A living biography only I can show. Not just ink, it's the road I've been. Every mark of memory written in skin. Written in skin, the truth won't fade. Every joy, every loss, every choice I made. Written in skin, the pain, the sin. Every scar I carry's just the place I've been. Bookmark moments, chapters in time, victories in color, regrets in the lines. If you wanna know me, don't just ask where I've been. Read the story I've carried, it's written in skin. The pain was the pen, the ink was the page. Every mark a story from a different stage. Every needle was a lesson, every drop was real. Ink don't lie when the scars can heal. This is history, this is blood and pen. My biography's alive, written in skin. Written in skin, the truth won't fade. Every joy, every loss, every choice I made. Written in skin, the pain, the sin. Every scar I carry's just the place I've been. Written in skin.